You're listening to an audio edition of Upon Further Examination at kielharvey.substack.com. This is Why I Built a Bible App That Doesn't Want Your Attention. How do we facilitate discipleship in the modern context of community? Written and read by Kiel Harvey. How do we facilitate discipleship in the modern context of community? Not, how do we get people to read the Bible more? There are good apps for that. Not, how do we connect believers online? There are thousands of apps for that, and most of them are making us worse. The question underneath both, how does my walk with God move out of my private quiet time and into shared discipleship journey with believers I actually trust? Because somewhere along the way, we privatized devotion. Quiet time became a solo discipline, 10 minutes alone before the day starts, measured by streaks and checkboxes, if people do it at all. And at the same time, our experience of community went digital and got loud. So we ended up with the strangest possible arrangement. We're alone in the things that matter the most and surrounded by noise about everything else. That's almost exactly the opposite of how spiritual formation has worked for most of church history. Discipleship was never meant to be a private hobby. It was people walking the same path at the same time, close enough to ask each other real questions. From a season to a lifestyle. Some of you know I wrote From the Source for exactly this purpose, getting people out of secondhand commentary and into the text itself, together. But a book lives in a finite context. A small group study has a week 1 and a week 8. A class ends. And the question that kept bothering me was, what happens after the last session when everyone goes back to reading alone? A study is a season. Discipleship is a lifestyle. I wanted something that could carry the shared part past the last chapter. Something built for the long, ordinary middle of the journey. The daily reading, the daily reflection, the people who stay on the path with you after the curriculum is done. That's what RockReader is. It lives at RockReader.com. And I want to tell you how it works because every design decision flows from that one question. One quiet loop. RockReader is a daily Bible journaling app with a small group soul. The whole thing is one loop. Read today's passage, reflect in a structured journal using the SOAP method of scripture, observation, application, and prayer, and then, only if you choose, share some of it with the people walking with you. Everyone reading the same passage on the same day matters more than it sounds. It's the difference between I'm doing my devotions and we're walking through Exodus together. One is a habit, the other is a journey with companions. Trust is the foundation, so privacy is the architecture. A shared discipleship journey only works if the sharing is safe. Nobody writes honestly in a journal they think someone else might read. And nobody shares honestly in a space designed to maximize an audience. So everything you write in RockReader is private by default. Not private as the setting you have to find, private as the foundation the entire system is built on, enforced in the database itself, with your reflections and prayers encrypted at rest. I built it so that even a breach of the database wouldn't expose anyone's prayer life or their devotionals. Your walk with God is not a data asset. Not mine, not anyone's. Sharing is a choice you make one entry at a time, to exactly the circle you choose. You can share with a friend, your group, or everyone. But the software remains private by default and social by choice. That's the order of the whole philosophy. The features that slow you down. Every app on your phone is engineered to shorten the moment between impulse and tap. Friction is the enemy. Engagement is the god. I built one feature that deliberately breaks that rule, and it's become part of the soul of the app. It's called the prayer pause. When a friend shares a prayer request, and you tap pray for this, RockReader doesn't instantly increment a counter and hand you a check mark. The screen quiets down, the request stays in front of you, and a 30-second timer begins. You're invited to actually pray right then for the full 30 seconds. If you leave early, nothing is recorded. No streak broken, no guilt mechanic, no shame either way. But you also don't get the thumbs up prayer that didn't mean anything. And your friend only ever sees prayers that were actually, plausibly prayed. It's a feature I'd defend most fiercely. We have so thoroughly accepted that technology exists to compress our attention that an app asking for 30 unhurried seconds feels almost radical. It shouldn't. Praying for someone is discipleship. Tapping an emoji, it's not. Built for 8 people, not 8,000. There's no algorithm in RockReader deciding what you see. No ads, no tracking cookies, no engagement optimization. The community features, such as group, friends, and a shared feed of verses and reflections called nuggets, are designed for your Tuesday night small group, your family, the 3 friends you'd actually text at midnight. Intimacy over reach every time the 2 are in tension. When people ask how it compares to the big Bible apps, my honest answer is that it mostly doesn't. They're great at reading, they're great at options, and I still recommend them for it. RockReader is about what happens after you read, writing it down and walking it out with your people. A word on how it's built. I'll write more another time about the strange, providential journey of shipping a real production app with no programming experience. But for the skeptics, I love you, check my work. The privacy claims are enforced with row-level security at the database layer plus field-level encryption on top. That's defense in depth, not a privacy policy promise. You can export every word you've ever written in one click, and deleting your account actually deletes your data. It loads in under a second on a mid-range phone, scores 100 on accessibility, and every release passes an automated test suite before it ships. None of that is exotic. The bar I held was simpler. Nothing missing where it matters. RockReader is free and works on any phone. And as far as I'm concerned, it will remain free. The app is currently available on the Google Play Store, and it is pending on the Apple App Store. You can start alone if you want. The journal is yours either way. But this app was built for the shared journey. So do the thing it was made for. Grab your small group, your spouse, your men's group, or your mom's group, and read the same passage on the same day. Then watch what happens around week 3, when someone shares a reflection you'd never heard in a hallway conversation. And if your group just finished a study, mine included, don't let the path end at the last stage. Make it a lifestyle. Go to the source, write down what you find, walk it out together. RockReader is built and run independently. No investors, no ad networks, no data brokers. If you want to support the work, the best way is simple. Sign up, use it, and bring your people. That was why I built a Bible app that doesn't want your attention. RockReader is waiting for you at rockreader.com. And the workbook that started it all, From the Source, is out now. You can get it at kielharveybooks.com or on Amazon. Also, I have new essays out every week at kielharvey.substack.com. Thanks for listening.